In 2009, what I thought would be a regular family vacation turned out to be a major turning point in my life. It all started uneventfully. My family had decided we'd go visit family in the Philippines for Christmas, and although my mom has been there before, for the rest of us, it was our first time. I had visions it would be a very tropical vacation where I'd be on the beach building sandcastles all day and collecting seashells all night. I was so excited to meet the hundred of family members and have chicken joy with Jolly Spaghetti from Jollibee that I barely slept on the longest flight of my life. 16 hours later, we arrived to a hot evening in the Philippines. After we got off the plane and collected our bags, we were immediately greeted by the hustle and bustle of the Philippines. We quickly realized that this place was very different than others, and we learned that we couldn't leave the airport because due to the population of the Philippines, they had to take turns driving on a set schedule based on their license plate number. When we were finally able to leave, we headed out for dinner. On our way to the restaurant, I was shocked at what I saw. Children without shoes begging for money, people walking through the aisles of traffic, tapping on windows, trying to sell everything from cigarettes to food. And there were even children sleeping on the street outside the restaurant. I had the feeling of confusion because I wasn't expecting to see kids my age and younger in these conditions. I was wondering why were they out here and why weren't they home with their families? The next day, this continued. We rode the jeepney, which is the main form of transportation in the Philippines. And for those of you who don't know what a jeepney is, it's basically a military jeep which has been turned into a bus decorated with flamboyant decorations. It's dangerous, crammed, and old school with no technology. If you needed to get off, you'd knock on the roof, letting the driver know to slow down so you could hop out. We took the jeepney to the market, and on our way there, I continued to be shocked by poverty. I saw a girl washing her clothes outside in dirty runoff water. My 9-year-old self didn't understand why she couldn't just turn on a tap to get clean water or just throw her dirty clothes into a washing machine to wash them for herself. Some things we consider basic necessities or just expect with our homes are actually luxuries for others. We don't have to worry every day when we want a glass of water, whether it's clean or if it will make us sick if we drink it. As we kept driving, I also saw what appeared to be abandoned shacks stacked up to one another like a house of cards. They were made of thin, rusted metal and were patched with cardboard, basically anything they could find. When I saw people coming in and out of them, I realized that these were people's homes. The stability of our homes is something we don't need to be concerned about. We don't have to worry when we leave our homes, will they be gone when we come back? Or if there's bad weather or storms, we could be confident that our houses will still be there and be a safe haven for us to return to. When we got to the market, we were hit with an overwhelming feeling of claustrophobia. Many people crowded around the tightly packed stalls, and the sound of Filipinos bartering filled our ears. As we looked around, we saw many people without shoes and wearing worn-out clothing. As we were waiting to buy something from one of the stalls, we overheard a conversation between a Filipino woman and the vendor. The woman was desperately trying to negotiate a lower price for mats that she needed. As we listened on, we were shocked to discover the price was too high for her, was only $10. My dad quickly offered to pay for the mats for her at regular price. Many of us here at Appleby don't actively think about the value of money we spend on a daily basis. We'll go to Okies to buy snacks for a study session that costs $20, not thinking that this amount means a lot to a person or takes a lot of effort for them to earn it. Later that night at my aunt's house, we were talking about our experience on our drive to the market. We were feeling that we wished there was something we could do for the people that had so little. My dad came up with the idea that we'd pack food and give away to families on Christmas Day, so that they'd be able to cook their own meal for their families and come together on the holiday to share it. After planning out what we were going to do, my uncle told us that we should give out tickets, because same families will come back and other families won't get any food. So it was decided. We were going to hand out tickets on Christmas Eve, then give out the bags of food on Christmas Day. The next morning, we took a large van to the market to buy bags of food. While we were shopping, we decided we'd go buy toys to give all the young kids. And back at my aunt's house, we basically had an assembly line. One person packed a bag with rice, another put cans in it, and the third person would tie it and place it in the pile. We ended up making over 500 bags. On Christmas Eve, there were so many people, shoeless and wearing tattered clothes, lined up outside of my aunt's house for hours waiting for these tickets. What's crazy is we didn't really tell anyone that we were going to give away these tickets. There was so much need in the world, and the word spread quickly out its own. While heading handing out those tickets, the people's faces showed such happiness and gratitude, despite the fact they didn't yet even know what they were going to receive. Christmas Day, we were eating breakfast at another relative's house because we weren't supposed to hand out the food till noon. Then one of my uncles came and told us there had been people lined up in the pouring rain since 6 a.m. just to receive those bags. We had to go. We didn't want people staying out in the rain on Christmas Day any longer. We headed over, and I was shocked at how many people there were. We started handing out the food and giving the kids toys, and the look on these people's faces were unforgettable. They were so thankful for these bags of foods. They were even calling my dad Santa. When all the bags of food were giving out, all the people stayed and sang a thank you song. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much, thank you. That song brought my whole family to tears. During this whole time on Christmas Day, my family and I were totally taken in by helping and interacting with these families and enjoying our time together and our part in making their day a little more special. No one in my family gave any thought about our Christmas or our gifts or our traditions. As children, we all spent the days leading up to Christmas, thinking and sending our wish lists, waiting impatiently for the day we could tear open our gifts and start playing with them. On this trip, our gifts were the farthest things from our mind. Seeing what it meant to those families and that we could help was truly the best Christmas gift I will ever receive. This trip, I think, is the main reason why I'm the person I am today. It made me realize every day on how lucky I am to have a home, food, and all the little things we don't think twice about having. This made me a happier person and less focused on the things I don't have and more focused on the connections with others. Although we were only able to help in a small way that Christmas, it fueled a fire in me, and I wanted to find more ways to help others on a larger, more permanent scale in the future to make change in those communities. I also think my parents are the reason why I'm the person I am today. We've always helped as a family, and we were always sponsoring families for Christmas, donating our old things, or volunteering. It was always something we did, and it was sort of routine. I'm not going to tell you all you need to travel to the other side of the world to make a difference, but you can help here locally. Sometimes we don't realize how lucky we are because we're in this bubble, and we forget that there are people we can help right here. My goal is for you to help someone. Help someone right here at Appleby, whether it's helping someone on their sports team, helping someone on your deck with homework, or working on their soul for the school play. Help someone in our community. Volunteer at Kerr Street Ministries, helping serve breakfast, or helping with the after-school program. Or if you really find a passion for it, help someone abroad. Join a service trip, find out what you can do to help, because that feeling you get after helping someone will be the best reward. Now, please stand and sing hymn 460.